Hello everyone, Dave here, and today we're going to look at the G.I. Joe deck building game Silent Interlude expansion unboxing. So, just got this in the mail, so let's take a look inside. I also have a bonus box here as well. But first, let's look at the main box. Get the shrink wrap off. And let's see what we got inside. Alright. So we got the rule booklet. We got some new tokens here. Some new story missions. And the cards. Okay, okay, as I understand it, there's two new modes of play, but let's take a look at what we got here. This expansion truly features something for everyone. If you are a solo player, then get ready for a challenge in the first solo-only mission that follows the story and action of the most famous of all G.I. Joe stories, Silent Interlude. If you like suspense and the anguish of who can I trust, the multiplayer mission, A Traitor Within, is the mission for you. So mission 8 is Silent Interlude. Follow Snake Eyes as he tries to silently infiltrate Silent Castle, a Cobra base to rescue the captured Scarlet. However, Scarlet can handle herself just fine, thank you very much, and soon they are each helping the other escape from Destro and Storm Shadow. This is a solo mission where you can't expect much help from the other Joes, but the lessons that have taught you in the past should help in your current predicament. Then mission 9 is A Traitor Within. Finds a group of Joes held in captivity by Cobra. After Cobra messes with their minds for months, they finally find the chance to escape, only discover that Cobra has been working on a mind control device. Now the Joes must determine if one or more of their own has been turned by the enemy. Using loyalty cards, accusations, and your own observations, you'll soon determine who is loyal to the Joes' cause, and if one among you is secretly a traitor who seeks to undermine the Joes' mission. So that's two massively different ways to play, which will be very interesting, 2 players. But yeah, because we got solo, which of course is only 1 player, but then with the traitor mechanics doesn't really work that well with 2 players, but we'll see. So we got 8 leaders, 8 Snake Eyes starter cards, 13 loyalty cards, 3 Cobra officer cards, 8 complication cards, 8 accusation cards, 16 sabotage cards, 2 expert mode cards, 4 player aid cards, 1 main deck card. Oh, interesting. 24 mission cards, 1 new end of round token, 1 silent noisy token, 4 discard pile tokens. Okay. So let's take a look at the tokens here real quick. So end of round, activate any penalties, story mission card effects, threat meter. Threat meter goes up by 1. And then hidden traitor, question mark, threat meter goes up by 1. Once a traitor is active, flip over. And then once the traitor is active, then it goes back to normal mode. Activate any penalties, story mission, card effects, threat meter, +1. Noisy is +1 difficulty during story missions. And then we got 4 discard pile tokens. Okay. Let's see. Not only is this a solo mission, but Snake Eyes goes it alone for the most part, without aids from other Joes. It is our intent to keep the action and characters limited to just what happens in the Silent Mission Interlude story. Setup. Set up a solo-style G.I. Joe deck building game just as you would any other. Be sure to use the solo 2 side of the threat meter, the core game end of turn token, and the reserve tile. Shuffle the claw transport into the main deck. Create the story mission stack with 1 random mission and 1 finale per act. This creates a stack of 6 cards instead of the usual 9. Your leader in this game is Snake Eyes. Grab his 0-cost leader card and place his promoted card nearby. Place both Scarlet leader cards nearby as well. Remove all GIs and the comms card from your starting deck. Snake Eyes is all alone here. No GIs to accompany him. Shuffle all 9 0-cost Snake Eye cards, 8 normal and the 0-cost leader, into your starting deck. You will have an 11-card starting deck. Place the silent noisy token at the top of your play area, just above where you normally play your cards. It starts on the silent side. Replace the core game Destro and Storm Shadow cards with the new ones from this expansion. Remove all other Cobra officers from the game. Remove Major Blood Appears and all Precision Strikes from the core set complications. Put them back into the box. Then shuffle the new Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3 complications into their corresponding decks. Leave all other new components out of the game. Rule change for Silent Interlude. Buying Joes. When you buy or gain a Joe from anywhere that is not from this expansion, place it onto the reserve tile. These Joes may never enter your hand. After all, none of them appeared in the Silent Interlude story. Instead, you can spin them from your reserve tile to aid many Snake Eye cards and Scarlet as well. Reserving a card from your hand works the same as always, just keep the Joes and your reserve cards separate. Using your reserve Joes. Most of the Snake Eye cards have an ability reading remove 4 cost worth of Joes from the reserve tile, plus 1 wild skill. Each of your cards with this text may activate this ability once when played, so if you play 3 of them, you could do it 3 times during the same turn. The removed Joes are removed from the game. If you play multiple Snake Eyes and wish to activate multiple instances of this ability, the payment required may be combined. So you could remove a 5 and a 3 cost Joe to activate 2 Snake Eye abilities. Transports. None are needed for any of these missions. In fact, they cannot be used. The new Claw transport in the main deck is the only one that can be used. The hangar starts with no transports. When a transport other than the Claw appears in the lineup, place it into the main deck discard pile and then replace it. Some Cobra cards refer to Cobra operatives. Every Cobra officer, trooper, battalion, and ninja counts as a Cobra operative for these card effects. Other cards that mention Cobra are not counted. Card update for Silent Interlude. Halo Jump allows you to add 1 Snake Eyes or Scarlet from your hand to the mission after determining whether you are silent or not. Recover Signal allows you to return 1 Snake Eyes or Scarlet to your hand after the silent roll, which might maintain silence. Silent Noisy. This is a Silent Interlude as Silent Castle using a Joe well known for his silence. So as you can imagine, being silent is a good thing. The Silent Noisy token starts out on the silent side and will remain that way until you are noisy. This is determined partly by how many Scarlet and Snake Eyes are on the mission and how many Cobra operatives are in play. Officers, troopers, battalions, and ninjas. Remember that each mission is started by a single character. The following procedure can be found on any player aid card for quick reference. Running a story mission during Silent Interlude. If the story Noisy token is showing, Noisy skips the procedure and continues with the mission as normal. Each time you start a story mission, reveal the top card of the main deck. Note its cost. Add any number of additional Scarlet and Snake Eyes from your hand to the mission. After resolving complications, roll 1 die for each Cobra operative in play. For each hit, subtract 1 from the cost of the revealed card on top of the main deck. If the number of Scarlet and Snake Eye cards on the mission is equal to or less than the modified cost of the revealed card, you are silent. Otherwise, flip the token to the noisy side. At the end of your turn, if the top card of the main deck is face up, discard it. To summarize, if the number of Scarlet and Snake Eye cards on the mission is higher than the revealed card's modified value, flip the token to the noisy side. which is imposing a +1 difficulty penalty on story missions. If it's already face up, the +1 difficulty applies to it. Flip it down to the silent again, upgrade your starting Snake Eyes leader. It has text that flips the token back to silent. Okay, so if you have too many cards in the mission, okay, that's kind of opposite of the way our style, so that could be interesting. Act 2. The story missions for Act 2 are marked Scarlet Solo, which means that only she can start the mission and no one else may join then. You will gain her 0 at the end of Act 1. Feel free to promote her if you wish. Snake Eyes is free to run side missions and missions against Cobra officers. Scarlet and Snake Eyes can team up against a non-story group and side missions during Act 2, as only the story missions are Scarlet solo missions. Expert mode for Silent Interlude. If you are consistently able to beat the scenario, put this expert card into play. It increases the cost to use the mini Snake Eyes character cards that can give you an additional +1 wild skill. Another way to keep the game fresh is to try another leader. Use standard GIs in an 11-card starter deck. If your last game was a loss, you can use the Snake Eyes starter cards instead. If you rarely lose, replace Scarlet with another leader as well. However, without her return to hand ability, her solo missions might take longer to complete. Whichever Joe you choose is the only one that can run the Scarlet only missions. Okay, so that's the first mode, the solo mode. All right. Then we have the other one is a Traitor Within. Set up G.I. Joe deck building game just as you would any other, except for the changes below. Create the story mission deck with 1 random mission and 1 finale per act. This creates a stack of 6 cards instead of the usual 9. Replace the core game end of round token with the new one from this expansion. Replace the core game Dr. Mindbender card with the new one from this expansion. Put a discard pile token in the spot where each player will place their discarded cards. Okay, interesting. Display Chuckles 0 and 6 and Lieutenant Falcon 0 and 6 along with the other playable Joe leaders and choose your character as usual. Okay, shuffle the 8 accusation cards together and place them near the Cobra Trooper Battalion. Shuffle the 16 sabotage cards together and place them near the Cobra Trooper Battalion. Prepare the loyalty cards by placing 1 Loyal Joe card and 1 Traitor card face up in front of each player. Face up, okay. Then prepare the loyalty deck by placing 1 Loyal Joe card and 1 Traitor card face up in front of each player. Then shuffle 4 Loyal Joes and 1 Traitor from the remaining cards together. Deal 1 card from this stack face down to each player. Oh, okay. Place the remaining cards from this stack in the box and face down. Each player peeks at the card they were dealt, but must not comment about it. Now each player makes sure all 3 of their loyalty cards are face down, then shuffles them, while still face down, and place them face down in a row next to the player without looking at them. Each player draws 1 accusation card and places it face up in front of any player. You can even choose yourself. Leave all of the new components out of the game. Alright, so loyalty cards. These cards determine your loyalty, and that information is currently known only to you. You cannot claim to be a traitor, but you are free to call yourself loyal and accuse others of being a traitor for any reason or no reason at all. The more players there are in the game, the greater the chance of a traitor. Of the 5 cards that are shuffled and dealt in secret, 4 of them are Loyal Joe cards, while 1 is a traitor card. In a game with only 2 players, there's only a 2 and 5, 40% chance of there being a traitor. With 4, there is a 4 and 5, 80% chance of a traitor. If you place 2 Loyal Joe cards face down in front of you, you are loyal. You seek to complete the mission and win the game as usual. If you place 2 traitor cards face down in front of you, you are a traitor. As long as you have not revealed 2 traitor cards, you are a hidden traitor. Once you have been discovered, you are an active traitor. The longer you stay hidden, the faster the threat meter goes up, up, up. But then again, the sabotage cards might be good path towards a traitor's victory. But be obvious or be subtle. The choice is yours. Do what you can to cause the Joes to lose the game in any of the normal ways. If that happens and you are an active traitor, you win. If you're still a hidden traitor, the Joes earn a Pyrrhic victory due to your failure to reveal yourself. But if you are discovered too soon, you may not have the tools to do much damage, and the Joes will have lots of time to rehabilitate you. More on that later. Once your loyalty cards are down, you cannot look at them again, so make sure you know your loyalty before you set them down. They are randomized so that you do not know where your loyal Joe and traitor cards are positioned among the 3. When instructed to flip a loyalty card face up, choose one without peeking at them first. This is a blind pick, even if it's one of your own cards. Accusation cards. These are treated like side missions, and players are limited to 2 side missions at a time each. If a player already has 2 side missions, they cannot be given an accusation. Until a traitor is discovered or it's proven there isn't one, accusations will be the only side missions in the game. If the accusation deck runs out of cards, shuffle the discarded to create a new one. Important side mission rules for a Traitor Within. During a Traitor Within, any player may run any player's side missions. When a precision strike is drawn from the complication deck, discard it and draw an accusation instead. Then immediately give that accusation to any player with 1 or fewer side missions in front of them. If everyone already has 2 side missions, discard the accusation. If there is an active traitor or all players have revealed 2 Loyal Joe cards, precision strikes are not replaced and are given out as the core game rules dictate. The accusations each feature one of 8 different skills in the game. Other than the above rules, they are run like any other side mission during your turn. Other players cannot join the mission. Note that you may not run an accusation side mission during the very first round of the game. If you wish, however, sometimes you might want to wait so you have a chance to reduce the threat meter, a potential reward. If you fail, the accusations remain where it is. If your roll succeeds, flip any one of that player's face-down loyalty cards face up. Then immediately draw 1 card. Next, if you flip a Loyal Joe card face up, reduce the threat meter by 1, but never back to the starting round only space, as normal. These effects are listed in the accusation cards. Once the success has been fully resolved, place that accusation card into the face-up discard pile next to the accusation deck. Place that... Oh. So it goes into the player's deck? Interesting. If you succeed at an accusation side mission during the starting round, you still flip a card, but revealing a Loyal Joe card does not reduce the threat, as it cannot move back. Yes, it cannot move back in the blue. Is it traitorous to run an accusation side mission during the starting round, as it won't help reduce the threat level? That's up to you. A player might wish to give an accusation they draw to themselves and run it as well. A loyal player might do this to prove their loyalty as quickly as possible. A traitor might do this so if they wish to become an active traitor sooner than later. Running a story mission during the Traitor Within. Story missions are resolved as usual with 1 active player calling for help or going it alone. Once the team has been set, there are a few changes. An active traitor may choose to play 1 sabotage card from their hand to hinder the mission. Each player draws 1 complication and reveals it. This includes any traitors and players who are not on the mission. This is the meaning of the 1/P in the complication area of the mission. Oh, okay. If there is no active traitor, discard any precision strikes drawn and draw an accusation to replace it. Immediately give it to any player. If the story mission is a failure, the active player draws one accusation and places it in their own side mission area. Your poor leadership is obviously to blame for the failure, and now everyone is suspicious of you. If that player already has 2 side missions, discard the new accusation. Your cards and discards. To keep everyone guessing it as to your loyalty, you cannot reveal the cards in your hand or discard pile to other players. Each player was given a discard pile token at the start of the game to hide their discard piles under. Place your discarded cards face down and make sure the discard pile token is always on top of the stack. This prevents you from mistaking your deck from your discard pile. Do not reveal the cards you are discarding from your hand as you discard them. Turn them face down before discarding them. The reason for all this subterfuge is so that hidden traitors can still work against the team without getting caught. A player might call for the tech skill on a group mission, and the hidden traitor might have a Joe with that very skill, but the hidden traitor might not want to aid the mission. They might prefer to keep the card in their hand and even discard it at the end of their next turn without ever playing it. It would be an immediate giveaway if the other players could look at the cards having discarded and say, hey, you did have a tech skill, traitor. Hidden traitor might even be more sneaky and join the mission, but refrain from playing a mission card to help. Of course, a hidden traitor could be so bold as to hold cards back and then play them during their turn anyways, hoping that no one was paying attention. Your level of risk is up to you. Upon discovering a traitor, when a player has 2 face-up traitor cards, they are now an active traitor. The traitor now drops the pretense of helping the team. Several things happen before the game continues. Flip the end of round token to the side with just a single +1 threat meter. Discard all accusations in play. They are no longer used in this game. Leave all loyalty cards where they are as they are. Do not flip any additional cards face up unless a mission tells you to. Precision strikes now work as normal, but anyone may still run them. The traitor takes their promoted leader, whether they upgraded it or not, and place it into play in the Cobra officer area. You might have to search your deck or discard pile. The traitor draws X sabotage cards, where X is the number of the current or just completed act, i.e., if you reveal as a traitor during Act 2, draw 2 sabotage cards. At the start of each of their turn, a traitor draws a sabotage card. A traitor may only use the vamp transport to run side missions. A traitor cannot run group or story missions. During each group mission, which includes story missions, the loyal players run the traitor. The traitor may place 1 sabotage card against them. See sabotage cards on page 9. As the traitor, you have a new side mission only you can run, called Menace. A traitor runs any number of Menace side missions against other players during their turn. A Menace side mission has a skill requirement, any skill 4. That means you choose which skill you want to use when you run it. Play cards, choose a skill, choose a foe, then roll the dice. If you roll 4 or more hits, the mission might be a success. However, the targeted player may reveal Joes from their hand with the same printed skill and roll that many dice. In the example to the right, a loyal player being menaced via recon or tracker could reveal this card to roll 4 or 3 dice depending on which skill the traitor is using. The text box of the revealed Joe is ignored. The revealed cards go back into the loyal Joe's hand. For each hit rolled, subtract 1 from the traitor's hit total. If the number of hits is now 3 or less, the menace fails. If the menace remains a success, the targeted player must discard 1 card from their hand at random. Loyal players can attempt to rehabilitate the traitor. This is a group mission against the traitor's 6 cost leader, who is now a Cobra officer. All promoted leaders have a cost of 6, which is also the difficulty to defeat them. The skills needed are the skills that the leader has, with an and between them if more than one. If they have wild skill, read that as any one skill. For example, if the traitor is Lieutenant Falcon, the loyal Joes can attempt to rehabilitate him with a difficulty 6 marksman and explosives group mission. If the group mission is a success, place the defeated leader card back in the former traitor's area. They may promote their leader as usual. If they had previously promoted it, place it into their discard pile. Lieutenant Falcon is now a fully loyal Joe and only wins the game if the other players win as well. Their 2 traitor cards remain, however. Sabotage card. When a traitor becomes active, they immediately draw a number of sabotage cards equal to the current act. The game is in. Sometimes this can happen at the end of an act, in which case the draw is equal to the act that was just ended. They also draw 1 at the start of each of their turns. These cards are various dirty tricks an active traitor can play during the group mission to hinder or harm the Joes. These cards are kept secret in the traitor's hand until played during a group mission. If a traitor is rehabilitated, discard all sabotage cards. If the saboteur deck runs out, do not reshuffle it. No traitors. If all players reveal 2 loyalty cards, there is no traitor. Flip the end of round token over to the normal side. Discard all accusations. So we're doing all the same steps. Some cards say, if all players are loyal, these effects only apply after all players in the game have been revealed to be loyal Joes. Alright, miscellaneous rules. 2-player game rule. If your teammate becomes an active traitor, you are playing solo. Use the solo end of round rules as found in the core rules and the original end of round token. You only suffer end of round effects at the end of each other round. If the traitor is rehabilitated, revert back to a 2-player game. Okay. Only the loyal player gets to use the reserve tile while there is an active traitor. Oh, okay. That's interesting. 3 or 4 play rolls. If the precision strike is drawn via the threat meter's yellow section, it is still replaced. The accusation goes to the player with the fewest number of side missions. If tied, the players choose who gets it or randomize if decisions isn't unanimous. Expert mode for traitors within. If you wish to give the traitor a better chance to win, add the expert card, a traitor within, to the game. It gives the traitor the chance to convert a loyal Joe into a traitor. Follow the directions upon discovering a traitor above. Do not use this card during a 2-player game. Card rulings. Rocket launcher. Choose any one player. They do not draw a complication during this mission. Proximity mine. The players whose complication is destroyed draws a new one. Okay, so that's the rule book. Let's take a look at the cards. So we will open the deck here. And we're going to switch to the other camera. Okay, so for the small cards, we got Snake Eyes Leader, who's 1 recruit, 2 wild. Then we got starter cards. So this one is 1 recruit, 2 martial arts, plus 1 martial art if we're silent. Then most of these cards have this remove 4 cards worth of Joes from the reserve tile, plus 1 wild skill. This one is 2 in explosives. This one is 2 in marksman, 2 in recon, 2 in stealth, and you get plus 1 stealth if you're silent. 2 in tech, remove 4 again. 2 in tracker. 2 in vehicles. And then the promoted Snake Eyes, 2 recruit, 3 wild. If you are now silent. If already silent or not playing silent interlude, ignore 1 complication during a story mission instead. So we can use him outside of silent interlude. Scarlet, 1 recruit, 2 wild. The character who gains this character gains skills of 1 Joe on the reserve tile, then remove that Joe from the game. If this mission fails, place Scarlet on top of your deck. Okay, and then the promoted Scarlet is 4 wild, and she gains the skills of 1 Joe on the reserve tile, then remove that Joe from the game. If the mission fails, place Scarlet on top of your deck. Okay, some other leaders we got is Lieutenant Falcon, 2 in Marksman. If all players join the mission, each player draws a card. And 4 Marksman, 3 Explosives. If all players join the mission, each player draws 2 cards. So when there's a traitor, that can cut into his powers a little bit. Chuckles is 2 recon plus 1 wild versus side missions. Chuckles 4 recon, 3 tracker plus 2 wild versus side missions. And we got the Claw, which is 1 capacity air vehicle plus 1 wild plus 1 capacity if it's an air mission. Expert mode Traitor, active Traitor, you may start a group mission against a loyal player. Anyone skill 8, that player is now an active Traitor. So you can turn someone into an active Traitor. Silent Interlude, you must now remove 6 costs instead of 4 costs. Storm Shadow, 5 martial arts or stealth. At the start of your turn, discard a starter. Destro, 6 marksman and recon. At the end of your turn, discard the top card of the main deck for each Cobra operative in play. Dr. Mindbender, 5 anyone skill. At the start of your turn, you may reveal 1 of your loyalty cards. Loyal players cannot start a group mission against a traitor while Dr. Mindbender is in play. Destro appears, put Destro into play. Storm Shadow appears, put Storm Shadow into play. One is the loneliest number, story mission plus 1 difficulty. No one has my back, that's plus 1 threat meter. Red Ninja, 3 anyone skill. At the end of your turn, threat meter goes up by 1. Wasting time fighting, gain 1 Cobra Trooper and add 1 Cobra Battalion to the lineup. Red Ninja blocks your escape. 4 anyone skill. You cannot start other missions while this card is in play. At the end of your turn, plus 1 threat. A close shave, discard 1 card from your hand for each Cobra operative in play. And that's the new term for Cobra operatives, count as troopers, battalions, ninjas, etc. Okay, then these are the accusations, right? I believe. Yeah, accusation cards. So these are replacement side missions. They all have 3 in different skills. So this one is this your monkey wrench? 3 vehicles. Flip one of this player's loyalty cards face up and draw 1 card. If you reveal a loyalty Joe card, threat meter goes down by 1. So all these are the same except for the skill. So we have did you mess with my bipod? 3 in marksman. Why do you want to go left? 3 in recon. Did you crash that computer on purpose? 3 in tech. I thought we were just sparring. 3 in martial arts. Did you step on that thing on purpose? 3 in stealth. How could you have missed that footprint? 3 in tracker. And why did you cut the yellow wire? 3 in explosives. All right, so next is a bunch of loyalty cards, which the backs are just either red or blue for Traitor or Loyal Joe. Then we got a sabotage deck. They all just say sabotage on the back. So this one is each other player destroys the top card of their deck. Put 1 random Cobra officer into play. Roll 3 dice, destroy the top card of the main deck for each hit. Add 2 Cobra battalions to the lineup. Each other player gains a Cobra trooper. Destroy 1 non-vamp transport in the hangar. Threat meter goes up by 1. Draw 1 complication. Wild skills cannot be used during the mission. Joe's text boxes are blank during the mission. Reroll all double hits once. Destroy 1 card in any player's discard pile. No transport bonus during this mission. Remove 1 Joe with a cost of 3 or more from this mission if able. Players cannot play mission cards during the mission. And -2 hits. And then we've got 4 player aids that look like they're double-sided. So we got the rules for Traitors on one side and this silent interlude on the other side. All right. So now let's look at the bonus box. All right, so we've got the bonus box here, which is a dice tower. It says, yeah, 1 buildable dice tower. Doesn't look like there's any promo cards. All right. All right, so punch out boards, interlock base wall into the base floor, interlock sloping board and tower walls, attach tower to base wall. All right, well, I'm not going to assemble it right now, but yeah, well, that one came apart. But okay, yep, so we got a dice tower. I guess that is the bottom of the dice tower there. Yeah. All right. Well, we will have to assemble that and see how it goes. All right. Well, so that was G.I. Joe Silent Interlude unboxing. So definitely get a solo game of that at some point. And Dirk and I will do a 2-player game and see if one of us is a traitor or not. All right. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe. Hey everyone, if you like that, we got more videos. There should be one over here. There should be one over here. And you can subscribe down here. And let's test the dice tower. Thank you.